Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. How's everybody doing? I hope you're good, all of you, and inshallah enjoying the nice weather outside. It's all white in UK, in Reading. And very sorry about the last three classes. The previous week I had to travel for business and I couldn't be in UK, and there was no possibility to actually conduct this lesson. And then yesterday there was a problem that I had to handle quite urgently, so I had to request you to just allow me to cancel the class for tomorrow. Yesterday, I hope you are fine with that, and inshallah we'll cover everything that we always wanted to cover. So there's nothing that we have lost from that perspective. So from the topics perspective, I think we're going to do a lot of stuff today in terms of new topics. We're going to touch some new topics. I'm just setting my phone here. Sorry for the interruption and the distraction. I need to make sure it works so you can see me. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we are going to basically we are going to see some new topics today. Are we going to do conditional statements today, inshallah, and also that will help you open up more Quran for yourselves, because then you'll start to understand when the condition is put and when's the answer coming. What is the condition? What is the answer? And there are various ways of doing this in the Quran, inshallah, and generally speaking in the Arabic language. So so when I will start with this now, and I hope that this lecture and after that just one more little bit on the Nahu topic, and then we will jump into the study of Sarf and start understanding the words in a bit more detail. Okay, so Jazakallah again for staying tuned and for allowing me to just miss the 3 classes last time. But inshallah, whatever happens for good, and stay with us, stay with me, and I think we'll progress forward as quickly as we can. Okay, so what I will do is I will do the usual. I will share my screen with you so you can see what I'm sharing, and then we'll kick off, inshallah. Okay, you should be able to see my screen in a few moments. Okay, good, very good. So I hope you're able to see my screen now. So what we are doing today are the conditional statements. Conditional statements. That's the topic we will address today. Okay, let me just make the font a bit bigger so you can see clearly. Okay, so it's 20. I think 20 is a good size. Okay, conditional statements. So what are conditional statements? Let's try to understand them. What are conditional statements? Conditional statements are statements that has 2 parts. Conditional statements have 2 parts. Oh, and this is true for any conditional statement. It's not just Arabic. It's generally any conditional statement has 2 parts. Okay. Now, what are those 2 parts? The part number 1 is there has to be a condition. There has to be a condition. Okay. And the part number 2 is effectively answer the condition. That's part number 2. So you have a condition and you have answer to the condition in any conditional statement. There are many ways you can construct a conditional statement. We will do 4 or 5 ways today, because in the Quran there are at least 4 to 5 ways conditions are constructed, and in real life as well you will find in such ways quite common in constructing the condition. One of the most common ways of constructing condition is using if-then statements. If-then statements. This is the first method of constructing the statements. Let me just clarify this. So, from the Arabic perspective, there are at least 5 ways of constructing the conditional statements. Okay? At least 5 ways of constructing the conditional statements. Now, first way that we're going to do is kind of an if-then statement. This is the first way. First method of constructing a conditional statement. If-then statements. So what happens in an if-then statement? If-then statement is like if Ali goes, then Umar will go, for example. Okay. If Ali goes, then Umar will go. So what we're effectively doing, on the left-hand side, you see a condition. Let me mark conditions in yellow. And then Umar will go is answer to that condition. Okay? It's answer to that condition. Okay? So there's an if part, and then there's a then part. So there's a condition, and then there's an answer to that condition. If something happens, then something will happen. Okay, that is the conditional statement, the most basic form of a conditional statement, which is if-then statement. Okay, this is an if-then statement. Let's construct another example. If you support me, then I will help you. Okay? If you support me, then I will help you. So where's the condition? The condition is on the left-hand side. If you support me. And where's the answer? Then I will help you. Then I will help you is the answer to this condition. Every condition has a condition. Every conditional statement has a condition. And every conditional statement has an answer to that condition. Now, in Arabic language, I'm going back up here where I wrote the 2 things. Conditional statements have 2 parts. The condition. The condition in Arabic is called shart. Shart. Okay? The condition in Arabic is called shart. This is the yellow part. This is the yellow part. Okay? And the condition, the answer to the condition is called Jawabul shart. Jawabul shart. Oops. That happens when you don't change the keyboard and start typing. Okay, it's called Jawabul shart. Jawabul shart. Okay. Now this one is a green part. It's a green part. This is a Jawabul shart. Every conditional statement has a shart and has a Jawabul shart, meaning a condition and answer to that condition. So, and we said there are at least 5 ways, in the Quran. In the Quran, let me just make it a bit more elaborated. In the Quran, of constructing conditional statements. Okay, so in the normal language, in any Arabic language, generally speaking, there may be more ways of constructing the language. So I'm talking about the Quran at the moment. Okay, so at least 5 ways you will find conditional statements constructed in the Quran. Okay, so now the if-then statements. The if-then statements in the Quran are constructed using a harf that you already know. Okay, let me write down here. If-then statements in the Quran are constructed using the harf using the harf, you know this, in. Okay. What do you know about in? In. In lam lama wal falli. Does it recall anything? Does it remind you of anything? In lam lama wal falli. This is a lightest harf. Yes? This is a lightest harf. Okay? So if when you use this lightest harf, they are used with present tense to make things lightest. So to make things lightest. In would make a present tense lightest. You remember that? But in could also be used to construct conditions with a past tense. That's absolutely fine. Okay, you can use in to construct conditions for past tense because it after all means if. It means if. So when it means if, you can use it to construct the condition, and then they're going to be an answer to the condition. Okay. So so just few points here. When you construct conditions within, these conditions are possible conditions that may or may not happen. No condition is 100% condition. Okay, and there are conditions which are impossible to happen. There are conditions which are possible or may not happen. This is the conditions constructed within are possible conditions. It's a possible condition that may or may not happen. May or may not happen. Okay, for example, the examples are above. If Ali goes, then Umar goes. Then Umar will go. Okay, if Ali goes, then Umar will go. But is there a guarantee this condition will definitely happen? No, it's all dependent. If Ali goes, then Umar will go. If Ali doesn't go, this will not happen. Okay, and even if Ali goes, there's no guarantee Umar will actually go. There's no definite thing here. Okay? If you support me, then I will support you. It's the same case. So these conditions may or may not happen. If the condition is not happening, the answer to the condition will not happen. So we don't say these conditions are definite conditions. Okay? We don't say these conditions are definite conditions. But in, it can be used with past and present both. In can be used with past and present to construct conditional statements. Okay, in can be used with past and present to construct conditional statement. Are you with me? Good. So let me construct an example here. Let me give you an example. Okay. Now we know there is a word called Zahaba. Zahaba means to go. Okay, Zahaba means to go. If I say in tazhab, why tazhab? Because there is an in, and tazhab is the present tense, so in makes it lightest. In tazhab, the original fi'l was tazhabu. Tazhabu. Okay, so in tazhab, it means to go. In tazhab, okay, it means to go. If he goes or she goes, because it's tazhab, or I could just make it even simpler. Instead of saying tazhab, I could say just yazhab. Yazhab. Okay, it's even simpler. Okay. In yazhab, because it's a present tense, with a huwa form, and it becomes lightest when when you use it with in, so it becomes lightest. It was yazhabu. In yazhab, if he goes, yazhab, yazhab, let's say Ahmad, yazhab Ahmad, yazhab Ahmad. Now what are we doing here? What we are saying here is in yazhab, if he goes, okay? Let me just remove the bullet so it becomes easier for me to manage. If he goes, this is the green part. If he goes is the green part, which is the condition. Sorry, the yellow part, which is the condition. This is the condition. If he goes, yazhab Ahmadu. Now there's another yazhab here. Now look at this yazhab very closely. This is lightest. This is lightest, and there is no harf before it that makes it lightest. So what is the reason to make it lightest? The reason is the jawabul shart, the answer to the shart, is also lightest. It's also lightest. If he goes in yazhab Ahmadu, and Ahmadu happens to be an outside doer because yazhab is a huwa form. Okay, yazhab is a huwa form, and Ahmadu has to be is an outside doer. This part is an answer to this condition. This is an answer to this condition. You see your point? Okay. In yazhab Ahmadu. Yazhab Ahmadu. Okay. For example, let me construct another one. In yansur, you know yansuru, right? So it was yansuru, we made it yansur. It means if he helps, but I say in yansur Ahmadu, in yansur Ahmadu. Now Ahmadu is outside doer of yansur because yansur is a huwa form in the lightest because there is an in, right? If Ahmad helps, yansur. That's it. Just yansur. What does that mean? In yansur Ahmadu, if Ahmad helps, yansur, he will help. No, he is what? He could be someone else, or I could just write a name here. For example, let's make it simple for you. Yusuf. Okay. Now Yusuf is outside word. In yansur Ahmadu, if Ahmad helps, yansur Yusuf. Yusuf will help. What is the condition? The condition is in yansur Ahmadu, if Ahmad helps, yansur Yusufu. This is the answer to the condition. This is the answer to the condition. You see that? Okay, you see that? And that's it. So the answer, the condition is constructed in majzoom form, means lightest form with in. It's an if-then statement. It's a possible condition that may or may not happen. So it is constructed with in, which is an if-then statement, and it is always lightest. The answer to the condition, which is jawabul shart, will always be lightest as well. It is lightest. Okay, you understand? This is the first way how conditions are constructed. Okay, how conditions are constructed. Okay, good. So what I'll do now is I'll just take you to the Quran directly, okay? And I'll take you to the Quran, and we will see some examples from the Quran. So we have a bit more context into how this is actually mapping to the Quran itself. Okay. So let me jump into the Quran, and I have these notes with you that I haven't shared with you because I wanted to teach this topic first here, and then I will inshallah share these notes with you. So let me move to my notes now. So what we have done here is effectively we have done the conditional statements with the if-then statement that are constructed with in. This is what I've told you. Conditional statements have two parts: the shart and the jawabul shart, the answer to the condition and the condition. That's what we have. And in classical Arabic, usually a lightest form is used. It's the lightest form of the fi'il mudari, means the present tense fi'il is used to communicate the condition and the answer to the condition, shart and the jawabul shart. But conditions can also be constructed with fi'il madi, meaning the past tense fi'il. And if you remember, we don't have any lightest form of the past tense fi'il. So if the conditions are constructed with past tense, they may not be lightest. Okay? And there are 5 types of conditions. This is what we have done just now. Okay, just now. With in says it's a possible condition that may or may not happen. It can be used with the past tense. It can be used with the present tense. When it is used with the present tense, the condition and answer to the condition are always lightest. But when it is used with the past tense, the answer to the condition and conditions cannot be lightest because there is no such concept. The past tense just is a past tense. Okay. Good. Sometimes in past tense, the answer could become in the present tense, which is an exception mentioned here. That there's an exception with past tense when the answer is attached with a fa. When there's a fa attached to answer, sometimes it's also in the present tense form. So let's look at some examples from the Quran, and we'll take guidance from the translation, so we understand how it is happening. قل إن كنتم تحبون الله. Now, in is a condition. In is a harf that we know. And this is the lightest harf. This harf is a lightest harf. It's a lightest harf, right? Lightest. Okay. It's a lightest harf. And you see, this is a kuntum. This is a kuntum that is made lightest. Okay. It is lightest. In kuntum tuhibbuna. Tuhibbuna Allah. If you look at the translation, you will understand what this means. Let's look at the translation for help. If you should love Allah, if you should love Allah, or if you love Allah. This is a translation which is taken from Tanzil. So sometimes the words used are a bit tricky, so you just make sense out of the translation. If you love Allah, or if you should love Allah, fattabi'uni. Fattabi'uni. Something's wrong. Okay. Fattabi'uni. Then follow me. Then follow me. Now, where is then? This is then. Okay. The fa is then. Fa is then. Tabi'un, tabi'u is a fi'l which is which the fi'l coming from the present tense. Okay, and ni is an attached pronoun. Is an attached pronoun. Fattabi'u. Now this fattabi'u is lightest. You see this? This is lightest. Right, I did a mistake here, sorry. So this is not the lightest form. Okay. Sorry, I did this mistake. Let me just correct it very quickly for you. Don't think this is lightest. Kuntum. Kuntum is a past tense fi'l. Kuntum is a past tense fi'l. It's a kana. It's a form of kana for antum, right? The kana that we did in the last lecture, this is not a present tense fi'l. Sorry, I forgot that, and I just misread it. So in kuntum is a past tense fi'l. Now this is a condition constructed with in using a past tense. You see this? This is a past tense. If you should help Allah, if you should love Allah. Now this is a condition that is being constructed in a past tense. That's why they have used this word should, because shall is a present tense and should is a past tense. Yes, kuntum is a verb to be. Okay, so if you should love Allah, okay, or would love Allah, okay. This is a condition constructed within using a past tense fi'il. This is a past tense fi'il. The answer to this condition is a present tense. The answer to this condition is a present tense, which you see here. This is the answer to the condition. And this present tense, as I said in recently, when there's a fa, there is an exception. This is an exception. The answer of a condition constructed in a past tense is coming out as a present tense. Okay, you see that? But the point to note here is there's no influence on the in kuntum. There's no lightest light or light form, because kuntum is kuntum. It's just written that way. It is not made lightest. It has always been like that. But fattabi'u is lightest. Fattabi'una was the full form of the verb. But at-tabi'una, what the tabi'una was the full form of the verb, and it is made lightest because it's an answer to the condition, and there's no harf before it that is making it lightest. And the reason for it becoming a lighter is because this is a jawabul shart. Okay, let's look at another example. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu. This is munada. This is just addressing people, the believers. This is just address. This is munada. This is addressing. Okay. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu. In tansuru. In tansuru. Look at this word. In tansuru. Now you know in, and you also know tansuruna is a full form of this fi'l. Full form of this fi'l. Because of this in, tansuruna is becoming lightest. Yes? It's becoming lightest. So if you all help, support, if you all help, support, and what is the maf'ul? Allah. This is a jumla fi'liya. Maf'ul is Allah, because the word Allah is maf'ul. That's why it's in the nasab state. If you support Allah, yansurkum. Now this is yansur. Why is it lightest? There is no harf before it. There is nothing that is making it lightest. Why is it lightest? It's lightest because this is a jawabul shart. Because this is the answer to this condition. This is the answer to this condition. This is the answer, and this is the condition. If you all support Allah, yansurkum, He will help you, support you. He will help you, support you. Okay? If you do this, then He will do this. That's the kind of condition. So there is no word then that is specifically used to answer in Arabic all the time. Okay, sometimes there's no fa. Just like in the previous example we had fa, but in this example we don't have fa. This is something you have to imply. Okay, so you look at the condition in tansurullah. If you support Allah, yansurkum, He will support you, help you. Okay, let's look at the translation to understand this. And the answer to the condition is just not, sorry, before going there, answer to the condition is not just the ending there. There is a wow here, which is a connector. Which is a connector. And you see there is another fi'l coming. You submit. You submit. This is the lightest fi'l as well. And it's a present tense. isn't it? It's a present tense, starts with a ya. This also starts with a ya, and it is the lightest form. This is the lightest form. The same pattern, isn't it? Okay, so it is also lightest. Why is it lightest? Why is it lightest? Because it is continuation of this answer to the condition. So the answer to the condition starts here. Answer to the condition starts here, goes all the way here, consisting of two jumla fi'liyas. This is jumla fi'liya 1 up to this point, and jumla fi'liya 2 up to this, starting from this point. Okay, this is answer. This is answer. And this is condition. Condition. Okay? Okay? In tansurullaha yansurkum wa yusabbith aqdamakum. Now let's read the translation. Oh you who have believed. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu. If you support Allah, if you support Allah, in tansurullaha, He will support you. Yansurkum, He will support you. Wa, and وَيُثَبِّتْ أَقْدَامَكُمْ, and plant firmly your feet. So this is the answer to the condition. The condition is that you have to support Allah, and only then Allah will support you and plant firmly your feet. I mean, make you firm, stable, established, inshallah. Okay. Another example. وَإِن تُطِعْ وَإِن تُطِعْ. Now this tuti is a present tense, starts with the ta, and there is a sukoon at the end, which is the lightest form. Okay, so we immediately know there is a condition being constructed. Okay, there's a condition being constructed. Now we need to find where the jawabul shart start. Where is the answer to the condition starting? So we keep on reading. Okay, wa in tuti aksara. So aksara is not really something which is lightest, because I'm looking at something which is lightest, because I know when the condition within starts, it's the lightest form, it will have something lightest as the jawabul shart, as the answer to the condition as well. So I keep on going. Man fil ardi. Okay, so I do not have anything lightest here as well. This man fil ardi is not something that is lightest or a fail or a something. Fil ardi is a jar majroor. Man is a mawsul, I know. Aksara, it looks like an ism to me. Okay. Yudilluka. Now I found something that starts with a ya, and yudillu looks to me, it was probably yudilluna, yansuruna. Okay, like plural form, whom form of the present tense fail. Yudilluna, but it's not luna anymore. It's yudillu. It has been made lightest. The noon sound is gone. Okay, and there's an attached pronoun to it. So I can say, okay, the condition is all of this part. Condition is all of this part. Okay. Yudilluka. This is a jumla fi'liya in itself. Yudilluka an sabilillah. An answer, an answer is this part. Answer is this part. Okay, because this is lightest, this is lightest, this is lightest. So the answer to the condition, they both are lightest. Let's read the translation just to help us. And if you obey, wa in tuti, if you obey, of those upon the earth, aksara man fil ard, of those upon the earth, aksara man fil ard, yudilluka, they will mislead you. Now this is the answer to the condition. They will mislead you. So the condition ended by saying, and if you obey most of those upon the earth, they will mislead you from the way of Allah. So if you look at the Arabic structure, you find there's a two things, in and tuti and yudillu. Okay, these are both lightest. Okay. So as soon as you found in tuti, you know there is a condition being established, and then you went on. There's a full jumla, is jumla fi'liya in itself. This jumla fi'liya becomes a condition, and then there's another jumla fi'liya starting with the lightest fi'l, and there is no harf before it that justifies it being lightest. So the only reason it can be lightest here is because it's a jawabul shart. It's an answer to the condition. It's an answer to the condition. Okay, so yudilluka an sabilillah. Okay, they will misguide you, they will mislead you from the path of Allah. Okay, you understand? Let's take a look at another example. Wa in tuti'ullaha. Now, again, as soon as I see this in, I know there's something happening. These are conditions within, if then statements. If then statements. So there's a condition happening within, and tuti'u looks to me a lightest form. Tuti'una should have been the full form, the home version. But sorry, antum version, because it starts with a ta. But it is not, because there is no noon sound, and this in is making it lightest. This is a present tense starting with a ta, ending in the lightest form. So I can say, okay, this is the beginning of the condition, and I keep on going until I find the answer to the condition. Once I find this condition, I know the answer has to be lightest as well. Has to be lightest. The jawabul shart has to be lightest. So I read further. Wa in tuti'u Allah. Okay, this is a maf'ul. Wa rasuluhu. Okay, so this is again continuation, because there is a vow. I see that this is a maf'ul. Allah is maf'ul, and Rasula is also nasab, therefore it's another maf'ul. This is a full maf'ul, and who is attached pronoun to Rasulahu, his Rasul. This is the nidafa connection. So this is all jumla fi'liya. Okay, this is all jumla fi'liya. Then I see la yalitkum. It looks to me like a forbidding statement, because there's a la, and there's a word starting with a ya, but it's lightest, and there's an attached pronoun to it, which is kum. There's an attached pronoun to it, which is kum. So as soon as I see this lightest, I can draw a line here. Okay, fine. I think this is a condition. Here's a condition. Okay. Wa in tuti'ullaha wa rasulahu. If you all obey Allah and His Rasul and His Messenger, la yalitkum. This is the lightest form. This is the start of new jumla fi'liya. This is the start of a new jumla fi'liya with an attached pronoun. Min amalikum shay'an. Min amalikum shay'an. So this is a start of jumla fi'liya. He will not deprive you. He will not deprive you. He will not deprive you from the deeds. Anything. Okay? So this part is going to be answer to the condition. How do I know? I know because this is lightest. Because I found this to be lightest. Okay? So I know the conditions constructed within are lightest, and the jawabul shart is also lightest. The answer to the condition is also lightest. Let's read the translation. If you obey Allah and His Messenger, okay, and if you obey Allah and His Messenger, وَإِن تُطِعُوا اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ, He will not deprive you from your deeds of anything. Okay, La yalitkum min a'malikum shay'an. He will not deprive you from your deeds anything. So He will not deprive you of anything, effectively. Okay, you understand? So there's the last one. Let's try to find the last one. Okay. وَإِن يَأْتُوكُمْ. I saw in again, which is a lightest harf, and I saw يَأْتُو. يَأْتُو is a present tense. Lightest. It's a present tense. Lightest. Okay, it's a present tense. Lightest. يَأْتُوكُمْ usara. Usara. So this is part of a condition. This is a jumla fi'liya forming the condition completely. Okay. Tafaduhum. How do I know this is where the condition is ending? Because I see tafadu and it should have been tafaduna. Right? It should have been tafaduna, which is the antum form, but it's not duna anymore. It's lightest, and there is no harf before it that makes it lightest. So I can immediately establish a connection that this is an answer to the condition which is constructed previously. Tafaduhum. Okay, you understand? Tafaduhum. And if they come to you as captives, وَإِنْ يَأْتُوكُمْ usara. Okay, usara as captives. Okay, you ransom them. Tafaduhum. That's the answer to the condition. Answer to the conditions. All of these ayahs are taken from the Quran. You can see the references next to the translation. So if you ever want to look up in the Quran yourself. Okay, good. So I hope that clarifies to you how the conditions are constructed in the if-then format. It's used with the harf in, which means if. It is the lightest harf. These are usually possible conditions that may or may not happen. They can be used with the past tense or a present tense. The answer to this condition, in case of present tense, is always lightest. In case of past tense, if the answer in a past tense wouldn't be lightest, but if there's a fa attached, then the answer is usually in present tense, which is again lightest. This is an example of our first case here. Okay, that we saw here. It's an example of a first case here, where there was a fa attached and the answer was in present tense, whereas the condition was in the past tense. Okay, good. Alhamdulillah. Let's move forward to the next category of conditions. So the next category of condition is something that you know already. You have studied it, but let me remind you of that as well. Okay. So the next category is conditions with ma and man. Do you remember what was ma and man? What are ma and man? Do you remember that? Think about it. I'll give you 30 seconds to think about what was ma and man. Okay, good. So it's before 30 seconds. I'm just being impatient. Sorry about that. Okay, so ma and man, you know they are ism mawsul. Right? They are ism mawsul. And you remember ma means what? What does ma mean? Ma means effectively. Wait a second, please. So there is a word whatever. There's a word whatever, which is effectively ma. And there is another word whoever. You know that, right? So which is man. Whatever and whoever. Whatever and whoever. Let me take it to the next page so it's cleaner and I can zoom in for you as well. Good. Whatever and whoever. Okay. Increasing the font size, inshallah. Now, when you construct conditions with whatever and whoever, what sort of conditions you could construct really? For example, let me construct a condition example for you. For example, whatever you do, Allah knows about it. Whatever you do, Allah knows about it. Okay? Now, think closely. So you're not doing if-then statement here. You're not doing the if-then statement. You're effectively saying something similar to that can be used to imply an if-then kind of a statement. You can imply an if-then kind of a statement. It is a possible statement. Okay, it's a possible statement. Okay, whatever you do is a condition. Allah knows about it is answer to that condition. Is answer to that condition. Okay. Okay. So this is more. This is an example of a condition that is definitely possible. Okay. This is there is no conditionality in it as if it's may or may not be possible. It is absolutely possible, and it is a definite condition because whatever you do, Allah knows about it. Okay. There could be other examples. For example, whatever you spend. Let me just rephrase it. Whatever you might spend will be accepted. Okay? Whatever you might spend will be accepted. Okay. Now, where is the condition? What is the condition? The condition is whatever you might spend. Now, you may or may not spend. You may or may not spend. But in case you do, okay, will be accepted. Will be accepted. Inshallah. Okay. You see that? You have a condition and you have an answer to that condition by using these terms what or whatever. Okay. Same is the story with man. It's the same case with man. For example, let me give you an example. Whoever goes will enjoy the match. Whoever goes will enjoy the match. Okay. Whoever goes will enjoy the match. So now the condition is whoever goes. The condition is whoever goes. Okay, this is the yellow part. And he will enjoy the match is the answer to the condition. Is the answer to the condition. Okay. In the same way, like in case, the conditions constructed with the ma and man are also lightest. The difference is they are only used with present tense. They're not used with past tense. The conditions constructed with ma and man are only used with present tense. Okay, so you won't have a past tense. So if you see a present tense fi'l after a ma or a man in the Quran, if you open a Quran and you find an ayah where there is a ma and a man, and after that there's a present tense fi'l which is lightest. Present tense fi'l which is lightest, and there is no harf explaining why this is lightest, then it's possibly a condition. It's a condition. Okay, and similar to in, answer to these conditions will always be lightest as well. They're all going to be lightest as well. Okay. Okay. So if I construct a quick example here, for example, whoever goes, we know the word yazhab, right? If I say man yazhab, man yazhab, I've made this man yazhab lightest. Whoever goes, okay? Whoever goes. Now, There is no reason for this yazhab to be lightest because there is no harf before it. There is nothing before it that we have learned that makes it lightest. Then why it is lightest? It is not a command because it starts with a ya. It cannot be a forbidding because it doesn't have a la, and it's not a second person. Okay? And it can't be commanding and forbidding. Then why it is lightest? The reason it is lightest after a man because it's a condition. Okay, you see my point? So when you see of present tense in the lightest form after ism mawsul like man or ma, it's likely because it's a condition. It's a condition being established. It's a shart. Okay? Whoever goes, yuflih, 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 yaflah. Yufliha is the yuflihu is the fi'l, which means to succeed. He succeeded. He succeeds. Okay, this would mean whoever goes will succeed. Whoever goes will succeed. Whoever goes will succeed. In this case, man yazhab is a condition, and yuflih is the lightest fi'l. It's the lightest fi'l. There is nothing explaining it to be lightest, so it's an answer to the condition. Whoever goes will succeed. You understand? This is a condition with ma and man. Both operate in the same way. Okay? Let me bring it here for you. Okay, so you can map. Good. If you've understood this, let me take you to your notes again. Let's do some Quranic examples, inshallah. Okay. So in the Quranic examples we have, so as I said, it's a possible condition that may or may not happen. When we associate things with Allah, usually they happen. They are definitely supposed to happen. For example, Allah will always know. There's no way He won't know. So you won't say this is the possible condition. You will say this is a definite condition, because in that case, Allah really knows. Okay, but it's similar to in. It's a similar to in. So they will always work with the present tense, and they will always be lightest. But in the case of in, you could also have a past tense constructing the condition. Now let's look at this example. وَمَا تَفْعَلُوا مِنْ خَيْرٍ. Min khairin. Okay, whatever you all do for good, or with good, or from good, whatever you all do from good. Now what we see here is we see a ma, and right after ma, taf'aluna. Taf'aluna was the real form of the fi'l, the full form of the fi'l, but it is not used as taf'aluna. It is used as a lightest form. There is no noon in the end, so it has made lightest. So it gives me an indication that this is likely to be a condition. So I say, okay, وَمَا تَفْعَلُونَ مِنْ خَيْرٍ. So this part becomes a condition. Condition. Why up to the khairin? Why up to the khairin? Because the condition will keep on going until I find answer to the condition. Until I find answer to the condition. Then I found ya'lamhu. Now ya'lamu was the fi'l. Ya'lamu. Ya'lamu. Okay. Who is attached pronoun? Who is attached pronoun? So ya'lam, I'm looking at it, it's the lightest form. Huwa form. Ya'lam. It's the lightest form. Okay. It cannot be a command because it's not in the second person. It's in the third person. It's in the third person, and a command and forbidding cannot happen in the third person. It starts with a ya. Okay, it starts with a ya. Notice this here. So ya'lam is a lightest fi'l, and I have no reason to make it light. There's no harf, there's nothing else, there's not a command, it's not a forbidding. So the only reason it can be light is because it's an answer to this condition. Ya'lamhu Allahu. This entire jumla fi'liya becomes an answer. answer to the condition. Okay, you see my point? Let's look at the translation here. And whatever good you do, which is the first part. Whatever good you do, which is the first part. This one, condition. Allah knows it. Allah knows it. This is the answer. Ya'lamhu Allahu. Allahu, the word Allahu is the outside doer of Ya'lam because it's a huwa form. Allah knows it. Okay? Allah knows it. Let's take a look at another example. Waman. Waman. It's a masul, whoever. Waman. Waman nu'ammirah. Nu'ammirhu. Nu'ammirhu. I know nu'ammirhu. It's a noon beginning. It's a beginning noon. And it's lighter standing, and I know this who is attached pronoun. This who is an attached pronoun. Okay, so whenever I see ism mawsul followed by a lightest present tense fi'il, which is always present, by the way, so I know this is a possible condition. This is a condition. Okay, so, and then I read forward and I look for the answer. And in the answer, what am I looking at? I'm looking at another fi'il, the present tense, that is in the lightest form. Then I found nunakkishu. And I know nunakkis could be the lightest form of this fi'il. And who is an attached pronoun, starting with the noon again. These are both nahnu versions. Nahnu version, that's why starting with noon, nansuru versions. Yeah, nu'ammiru was the real fail, the original fail in the nansuru form. When it became lightest, it became nu'ammir. Okay, nunakkisu was the original form, and it became lightest, and it became nunakkis. So this part is a condition, and this part is answer to the condition. Nunakkisu, because why all of this part after nunakkisu? Why this part? Why this part? Because this is all jumla fi'liya. This is all jumla fi'liya. You just don't take the fi'l as the answer to the condition. You take the full-blown jumla fi'liya that is attached to it until you find that there's a disconnect, there's a break in the chain. If there's a full jumla fi'liya, that full jumla fi'liya would be your answer to the condition, the jawab al-shart. In the same way, you will have full jumla fi'liya as your condition. Okay, you can't just take only the fi'l. Okay, you just take the full jumla fi'liya. Okay, let's read the example. Translation. And whoever we grant long life, whoever we grant long life, we reverse in creation. We reverse in creation. So will they not understand? So one thing, the answer to the condition is up to this point. This point only, this is not answer to this condition. This is just a question. It's a question. Okay, it's a question. The answer to this condition would end at fi khalaqi. Okay, afala yaqilun. This is a question. This hamza is a question. So then they do not think or understand. So jumla fi'liya would end here after al khalaqi. Okay, so this is your answer to the condition here, and the condition is here. This is the condition part. Okay, so in the translation, and whoever we grant long life is a condition, and we reverse in creation. This is the answer to the condition. This is the answer to the condition. Okay, so will they not understand is the final question. So will they not afala yaqilun? This is the final question again. You understand? Let's look at this one. Man yasha Allahu. Now, yasha'u. Yasha'u was the original fi'l. Yasha'u is the original fi'l. There is yasha'i. Yasha'i. How do I know this is a huwa form? Because I know yasha'u, and if it is made lightest, it is yasha with the sukoon, and then now it has a kasra. How do I know? The reason there's a kasra that you probably already know is because of the alif following it. Because of this alif following it for the flow. So you can consider this kasra as a sukoon for the grammatical analysis purposes. But when you read it, you would read it with the kasra. But this is effectively a lightest form. There is no fail ending with the kasra that we know, right? In the huwa form. So man yasha'illahu, the word Allah is the outside doer, because of huwa form. So I found this fi'l, which is the lightest form here, and I found the outside doer, and I found the ism mawsul, and it's the lightest after the ism mawsul. Man yasha'u, whoever Allah wishes, whoever Allah wishes, whoever Allah wishes. This is a condition. Yudallil. Huna. Who is an attached pronoun, and you see it's the lightest form again of the present tense fi'l. So that becomes an answer to the condition. It's a jawabul shart. He guides, he misleads him, or lets him go astray. Okay, dalla yudillu. So whomever Allah wills, he leaves astray. Okay, this is answer to the condition. Answer to the condition. Now we go forward again. Waman yasha'u. Now you see the same fi'l, yasha, is now with a sukoon. Now this is much more understandable for you, because that's what you know. You don't know a fi'l which is lightest with a kasra, right? So you know it with a sukoon. It is sukoon because there's no alif after it. Okay, so it's easier to read. So, but both of these fi'ls are the same thing. Okay, so man yasha, this is a condition, and whomever he wills, this is a condition, because it's a lightest fi'l after man. Yaj'alhu ala siratim mustaqim. He places yaj'alhu. Now yaj'al, it's a lightest form, so it is a beginning of the jawabul shart, the answer to the condition. Who is the attached pronoun? And ala siratim mustaqim. This is entire muta'alliq bil fi'l. This is jar majroor, and this is mawsuf sifa, siratim mustaqim. Okay, so it is full-blown muta'alliq bil fi'l. So this entire thing is the answer to the condition. Okay, and whoever he wishes, he places him on the right path, and whomever he wills, he puts him on a straight path. Okay, these are all conditions. Good. Okay, you understand? So it's the same like in case of ma and man, you construct the conditions in the same way like in, but in is more explicit if then, ma and man is more implied if then statement. Okay, so you won't see explicitly if then statements in ma and man, but the trick that you use is effectively you find a lightest present tense after ma on man. So this is an indication that the condition is starting, and then you find another lightest fi'l, which is normally the answer to that condition. Okay, pretty good. So let's move forward with the other categories of conditional statements, inshallah. Now, now we have done the if-then statement. The third way of constructing the statement is effectively the commanding and forbidding. using the commanding and forbidding. There are consequences to the commanding and forbidding. Let me write it this way. It's consequences of commanding and forbidding. Okay? That's another way of constructing the conditional statement. Now, this is also similar to in the conditional statements with in. It is kind of an implied in. It's like it is like implied in. Implied in. Okay? It is implied in. It is like implied in. Okay, so it is a possible condition which may or may not happen, just like that. And it is also used with present tense only. It is only used with present tense. It is used with present tense only. Okay, it is used with present tense only. Why is it used with present tense only? It is used with present tense only because of the common sense. Commanding and forbidding only applies to present tense. There is no past tense to commanding and forbidding. And these are the conditions we establish using commanding and forbidding. Okay, for example, let me give an example. I say submit. Allah will have mercy on you. Allah will have mercy on you. So when will Allah have mercy on you? When will Allah have mercy on you? When you submit. So the condition to have mercy on yourself by Allah is to submit. So the command is submit. The condition, the shart is submit, and Allah will have mercy on you is the jawabul shart. It's the answer to that condition. You see that? See the point? Or don't go, don't eat, you will get sick. Don't eat, you will get sick. Okay, so what's happening here? So this is a forbidding statement. Don't eat, which is putting a condition, and the answer to the condition is effectively you will get sick. Now you have to look at this answer as a consequence. It's not, it doesn't read as an answer really. So it is more like a consequence happening as a result of a command or a forbidding. So that's why I said above, it's a consequences happening out of the commanding and forbidding. It's more of a consequence than an answer. You don't answer a command, there's a consequence of the command. And then you don't answer a forbidding, there's a consequence to the forbidding. Right? So these green things here are all consequences. If you submit, the consequence would be Allah will have mercy on you. If you don't eat, the consequence would be, if you eat, the consequence would be you will get sick. If you don't eat, the consequence would be you would stay healthy. Okay, so look at this. Look at these things from this angle. Okay, so inshallah, let me take you to the notes again, and we'll do some Quranic example that will clarify these things, inshallah, a lot better. Okay, so in your notes, it is mentioned here consequence of commanding and forbidding. Implied in conditional statements. It's like an implied in conditional statement. They're used with present tense. Let's look at this example. Okay. Now, ya ayyuhal lazina amanu, which is munada, which is just addressing. Just label it as address to the believer. This address. Okay. When calling someone. Okay. Ya ayyuhal lazina amanu. Ittaqullah. What is this ittaqu? What is this ittaqu? Ittaqu. Okay, this is a command. This is a command. Okay, this is a command that you have found here, present tense command, which is because command is always present tense. Ittaqullah. Ittaqullah. You have found the first command. This is the first command. Ittaqullah. And then you have another connector. Qulu. What is Qulu? Qulu is another command. It's lightest. See, commands are always lightest. Commands are always lightest. Okay, but there is no in before it. Okay, there is no man or ma before it. So you could say, okay, if I found an in before it, I would say, okay, this is the lightest fi'l. If I found man or ma before it and then it's lightest, I would say, okay, there's a condition. But this is neither man or ma or no in. There's nothing like that, but it's still lightest. And the only reason it can be lightest is because it's a command or a forbidding. It's a command or a forbidding. Okay, so I find these things and I say, okay, these are commands and forbidding. As soon as you see the command and forbidding, you would usually expect a consequence after it. There's a consequence after it. So you label this bit as a condition. It's a shart. It's a shart. Then you move forward. Yuslih. You find a fi'l which is lightest. You find a fi'l which is lightest. Yuslih. Why is it lightest? There is no lightest harf before it. There is no ma or man before it that is making it lightest and probably forming a condition. Why is it lightest? The only reason it can be lightest here is it's an answer to the condition, and in this case, consequence to the command. Consequence to the command. And it is a full jumla fi'liya. So you say yuslih, and you know lakum is muta'alliq bil fi'l because it's a jar majroor. And you keep on going. You don't stop here. You just keep on going. A'malakum. A'malakum. Wa yaghfir. This is again idafa connection. A'malakum, and you found a connector here. Va. You found a connector here. So this is the first consequence. This is the first consequence. This is the first answer. Answer one. This is answer one. Okay. Now you find wa yaghfir lakum. This is another fi'l which is starting with a ya and it's lightest. Same reasons. Why is it lightest? Because it's an answer or consequence to the command. Consequence to the command. Lakum zunubakum. This is entire jumla fi'liya in itself. This is one jumla fi'liya and this one is another jumla fi'liya. Okay, so this is answer two. Answer two. Okay. So these are consequences. There are two consequences of these commands. There are two commands, one command and two commands. Ittaqu and qulu. Okay? Okay? Good. Let's read the translation. Oh you who believe. Oh you who have believed. This is the ya ayyuhallazina amanu. Ittaqullaha. Fear Allah. Fear Allah. That's the first part. That's the first command. Waqulu qawlan sadida. And speak words of appropriate justice. This is the second command. This is the second command. Now, consequence to the command. If you do this, what is the consequence? Yuslih lakum a'malakum. He will then amend for you your deeds. That's the first consequence. Wa yaghfir lakum zunubakum, and forgive you your sins. That's the second consequence. That's the second consequence. You see that? Excellent. Good. So just want to quickly look. Okay. So okay. So let's. This is a beautiful one. I really like this one. So this is coming from the Surah Nuh, where Nuh alayhi salam is trying to tell their people, he's commanding his people to do astaghfar, to ask for forgiveness, and he's telling them, as a consequence of that forgiveness that you will ask, what will Allah give you? What will Allah give you? Okay. فَقُلْتُ istaghfiru. Istaghfiru. Now, istaghfiru is a command. Now, this is a command. Istaghfiru. Okay? Istaghfiruna was the full fi'l. Sorry, yastaghfiruna. Yastaghfiruna was the full fi'l. You made it tastaghfiruna. And then you made it lightest, tastaghfiru. Then you remove the ta, it become staghfiru, and you couldn't read it, so you gave it a helper alif. Istaghfiru. Istaghfiru. If you have been able to follow me on this, you will understand. This is a command. Istaghfiru is a command. He's saying, you all ask for forgiveness. Rabbakum, from your master. Certainly, innahu kana ghaffara. Certainly, he's always forgiving. Certainly, he's always forgiving. Forgiving. Okay. So this is the command he's putting forward to them. This is a command, which is the condition for us. Okay. Condition. Now, this is a command he raised to his nation. Okay. As a consequence of this command, he's telling what's going to happen. Yursili samaa alaykum midrara. Okay. He will send from the skies for you help or rain, or for whatever you need to grow your crops, for example. He will send rain from the sky upon you in continuing showers. Okay, that's the first consequence. This is the first consequence. You see, yursil. This is again a kasra because of this alif, but its lightest form. Its lightest form. This is the answer one. Answer one. Up to this point. This is a full jumla fi'liya. Then you have va. Then you have va, which is a connector. Yumdidkum bi amwalin wa banina. And this is again the lightest fi'l, right? This is again the second lightest fi'l. He will help you bi amwali, in wealth, with your wealth, wa banina, and your sons. I mean, he will give you sons. Okay. This is the second answer. This is the second consequence to the condition. Okay? Second consequence to the condition. And these are all light. These are all lightest. Sorry. These are all lightest. These are all lightest. Va, there's another connector. Yaj'al lakum jannatin. Yaj'al is again lightest. See this? This is the lightest fi'l. This is the lightest fi'l. And he will place you in the paradise. He will place you. He'll make for you a paradise, a Jannah. Okay? He'll make for you paradise, a Jannah, or place you in the paradise. This is another consequence. This is another answer. Answer 3. Wayaj'al. Again, there's a connector to it. Wayaj'al, again lightest. This is the lightest fi'l. Lakum anhara. And he will create in it the rivers for you. He will create rivers in it for you, in the Jannah. So this is a consequence 4. The 4 consequences coming out of the condition. Okay, you see that? Let's read at lead the translation. And said, ask forgiveness of your Lord. Indeed, he is ever a perpetual forgiver. It means always forgiving, always forgiving. Okay, that's the condition. And now look at the consequences. He will send rain from the sky upon you in continuation showers, which is this part. Yursilis samaa alaykum midrara. And then wayamdidkum bi amwalin wa banina. And give you increase in wealth and children, and provide, okay, in children. And then you have another one. وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ jannatin, yes, and provide for you gardens. Okay. وَيَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ أَنْهَارًا, and provide for you The reverse. See that? The consequences happening. The consequences happening in these three ayahs. So there's one condition, and then there are four consequences of these conditions. Okay, and every consequence begins with the lightest fail. Begins with the lightest fail, and the condition is also a command which is lightest. Okay, good. Arsilhu ma'ana. Arsilhu ma'ana. So I saw arsil. Arsil is a lightest fail, and it's a condition. Sorry, it's a command. There's no reason to make it lightest. It's a command. Okay. There's no harf, there's nothing happening before it, so why is it lightest? The only reason it can be lightest is either it's a command or forbidding, and there's no la, or there's nothing that makes it forbidding, so it's a command. Okay, arsalahu ma'ana ghadan. This is coming from Surah Yusuf, where the brothers of Surah Yusuf, where the brothers of Yusuf alayhi salam are convincing Hazrat Yaqub alayhi salam to send Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam with them, so they can go and play, and they are saying, "Oh, we'll take care of it." So they're issuing a command, "Arsalhu ma'ana," send him with us. Send him with us. Okay, today or tomorrow. Ghadan is tomorrow. Ghadan is tomorrow, I guess. Yeah, Ghadan is tomorrow. So send him with us tomorrow. Okay? So this is a command up to this point, forming a condition. And then they're explaining the consequence of that command, the consequence of that condition, as an answer to that condition. You see, yarta is lightest, wa yal'ab is lightest. These are lightest. Okay, wa inna lahu lihafizun. Okay, they're all lightest. They're saying they're saying as a consequence that send him with us tomorrow. That, and the consequence of sending him with them is that he may eat well and play. Eat well and play. These are the two fi'ls which are forming the Jawab al-Shart. And indeed, we will be guardians. Okay, so this is the consequence. Two consequences forming the answers to the conditions. You understand? So they are all lightest. Lightest because of arsal. Lightest because of arsal. Now, this is one of my favorite du'as that I usually recite whenever I have to present something or explain something, teach once in a while, or Allah really opens up your mind and heart with this dua if you really believe and recite it. This is a dua of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam when he asked Allah Ta'ala to just help him so his people understand his message. Excuse me. So the dua is like, Qala Rabbi shrah li sadri. Rabbi shrah li sadri. Now here, Hazrat Musa alayhi salam is using a commanding tone. When you use a command towards Allah, asking him something, you don't call it a command. It's called fi'l talab. It's called fi'l talab. It's not fi'l amr. Fi'l talab is when you're requesting, urge very earnestly. You can't na'uzubillah command Allah, you just urge and request Allah. Okay, so when you use a commanding form with addressing to Allah, it's a fi'l talab. You ask for the talab, you ask for your requirements, desires very earnestly. Okay, so here, Rabbi shrah li sadri. Ashrah is the command, is the command which is which he's making use of. Bishrah li sadri. So please open my chest. Open my chest. It means that give me that strength that I need. Okay. Wa yassir li amri. Yassir again. If you know the dua, Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair. Rabbi yassir. Inna ma'al yusri yusra. This is the same word. Inna ma'al yusri yusra. After every difficulty, there is ease. Okay. So this is again a command. You see the lightest? It's yassir, command. Ashrah, all command. Make my task easy for me. He's still asking. He's putting conditions. He's putting conditions at the moment. He's not telling what is going to be the consequence of this condition. The first condition is, "Hey Allah, please open my chest. Give me that strength." The second is, وَيَسِّرْ لِي أَمْرِي, and make this task easy for me. وَحْلُلْ عُقْدَةً مِّن لِسَانِي, and please open the knot in my tongue. Make my words fluently come out. This is all. This is all commands. This is all commands, conditions that he's putting forward. And now in the end, he's giving the consequence. He's giving the consequence. يَفْقَهُ قَوْلِي, so they understand me. So they understand me. So this part only, يَفْقَهُ قَوْلِي, is the answer to the condition. But these four are conditioned. This is condition 1. This is condition 2. This is condition 3. رَبِّ اشْرَحْ لِي صَدْرِي وَيَسِّرْ لِي أَمْرِي وَاحْلُلْ عُقْدَةً مِّن لِسَانِي يَفْقَهُ قَوْلِي. يَفْقَهُ قَوْلِي is the answer to the condition. Let's look at the translation, inshallah. My Lord, expand for me my breast with assurance. Give me this strength. And ease for me my task. This is the second condition. And untie the knot from my tongue. This is the third condition. That they may understand my speech. So they understand me. Okay, so the consequence of doing the first three conditions is that they will be able to understand my speech. You understand? So the conditions are constructed in a lightest form, and the answer to the condition is also coming in the lightest form. Good. So we just have two small topics left in the conditions, and then we're done with the conditions. So I will run a bit over time today, like 5 minutes or so, inshallah. So we just covered the topic and there's no break. So in the next class we can inshallah pick up something new. So the next possible way of constructing a condition is constructing with the word low. Conditions with low. The word low. Okay? Condition with low. That's another way of constructing the conditions. Okay? Conditions with low. Now, the conditions constructed with low are impossible conditions. Okay? These are impossible conditions. Conditions with low are impossible or improbable conditions. Okay? Are impossible or improbable conditions. Whenever a condition with low is constructed, there's usually a lam attached to a fi'il as an answer. There's usually a lam that becomes an indicator for the answer, but not always. Not always, but most of the time, there would be a lam attached to a fi'il. Lam is usually, the answer is usually indicated by a lam attached to a fi'il. Attached to a fi'il. There's usually a lam attached to a fi'il that indicates where the answer starts, and this is only used with past tense. It's used with past tense fi'il. Past tense fi'il. Okay? It's used with the past tense fi'il. Used with the past tense fi'il. Okay. So if I have to construct a silly example here, so let me. Okay, if you could fly, then I would be then I would be satisfied. Now, if you could, I mean, it's not a perfect example, but just trying to give you a crux of it. So this is a kind of condition which is not going to be possible at all. Okay, so if I just make it more explicit, if a dog could fly, then I would be very pleased. So just trying to construct this example. Let's bear with me just to understand this. Okay, if a dog could fly, then I would be very pleased. So think about it. Can you be pleased ever in this case? You just can't be pleased ever in this case because dog just can't fly. This is a condition that you're putting, which is an impossible condition. This is a condition that you put, which is an impossible condition. Therefore, the consequence, the answer of that condition is also impossible. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Okay? This will never happen. Allah uses these things in the Quran to give messages to the non-Muslims quite many times. If you had believed, if you would believe, then you would get this. But Allah knows they would never believe. Okay, so let's dive into the Quran directly and see some examples so it becomes very clear. So the crux I'm telling you here is the law. The word law indicates a condition. It is usually you can use this word for in a form of like condition starting had there been or something like that. Had there been, if you had, for example, things like that. Anything that makes a start of a condition which is quite improbable or impossible. Okay, so let's look at the Quran examples and then we'll take it from there, inshallah. Okay, so conditions with law. Condition indicator is law. When law comes, you will see it's a condition indicator. So this and is mistaken. I'll remove it from the notes. Okay. It's an impossible or improbable condition. Lam is usually used to answer the use as the indicator of the answer, but not always the case. And sometimes the case is also negation. You will understand that inshallah later on. And it's only used with the past tense. It's used with the past tense. Taking a look at this example. وَلَوْ أَنَّهُمْ صَبَرُوا. وَلَوْ أَنَّهُمْ صَبَرُوا. So you have law here. You find law here. حَتَّى تَخْرُجَ إِلَيْهِمْ. حَتَّى تَخْرُجَ إِلَيْهِمْ. Now you know there is that this is a beginning of Jumla Ismiya annahum, and then this entire Jumla Fi'liya is basically a khabar of a Jumla Ismiya. So you pick up everything and you say it's a condition. It's a condition because it starts with the law, and then you found this lam. This lam. Lakana khairan lakum. Last time we did the kana and its sisters. So if you haven't done it, please go and visit that lecture, review that lecture, and inshallah it will help. So this lam is an indicator of the answer to the condition. We see this lam attached to the kana, and you say, oh, this is where the condition's answer starts. So this is the answer to the condition. Okay, answer to the condition. Let's read the translation. So, and if they had been patient until you could come out to them. So if they had been indicates to you this is not possible anymore. The event has already happened. The event has already happened. Nothing can be changed now, right? If it was like if they are patient until you come out, then it means the thing can still happen, right? If you're saying if they had been patient until you could come out to them, it means they have done that mistake anyway. So they haven't been patient. So they were there and they were not patient. And then after the event happened, this condition is coming out. It would have been better for them. But now nothing can be changed, right? So it's an impossible condition that will ever come true. It is an impossible condition that will ever come true, because they have done this. The consequence has happened, but now Allah is telling them, if you had done it that way, this would have happened to you. Okay? If they had been patient until you could come out, it would have been better for them. Okay? It's an impossible condition. Another example going forward. لو كان فيهما آلهة لو كان فيهما آلهة إلا الله إلا الله. Now we see low. Now we see low. Okay? And after low we see the kana. Kana is like a jumla ismiya. It's a fi'l, but it's a jumla ismiya. If you have listened to the lecture already from the last time. So you would go all the way here, all the way here, all the way here, and you'll find this is a condition. This is a condition, and there's a lam coming here. There's a lam coming here. This is the indicator of answer to the condition. La fasadata, and this is a past tense fi'l. Nasarata, okay, this is a past tense fi'l. This is the answer to the condition, and it has to be an impossible condition. Had there been within the heavens and earth gods beside Allah? And look at this tone. This had there been, meaning it's absolutely not possible. Had there been, if there was any closest chance, no, it's not possible. Had there been within the heavens and the earth. So in the Arabic you don't find al-ard and as-samawati. So this heavens and the earth is a metaphorical explanation here, not really literally written in Arabic here. Had there been within heavens and the earth gods beside Allah, they both would have been ruined. They both would have been ruined. So who both? The gods. Okay. And now this is a consequence to the condition. They both would have been ruined. But this is a condition that will never come true. It just will never come true, because it's an impossible condition. Okay, you see that? So law is usually connected with a lam somewhere in the sentence, in the ayah going forward, that indicate this is the beginning of the answer, the jawabul shart. Okay, and law indicates a shart which is an impossible shart, impossible condition. Okay. Now this one, لو أطاعونا ما قتلوا. لو أطاعونا ما قتلوا. You found law. You know it's an impossible condition, improbable condition. أطاعونا, you found a fi'l with an attached pronoun. أطاعونا. Okay, it is used with the past tense, as we know. It's used with the past tense. So this is a condition. Okay, ma qutilu, but you don't find a lam. But you don't find a lam, so you're not sure where the answer to the condition is actually starting. Now, this is something you have not done yet, but let me explain you. So when there is no lam, usually there is a negation or refutation. Usually there is a negation or refutation. You would find a forbidding statement or a refuting statement. A refuting statement usually is constructed with a ma. There's another use of ma that we'll inshallah study probably in the next class or so. That ma is used for refutation. This is refutation happening here. This is refutation happening here. When you don't see a lam, we do see this is a condition, but ma starts a refutation. Okay, and this becomes an answer, the condition. Okay, let's read the translation. It will help us clarify. If they had obeyed us, this is the first part, the condition. Okay? They would not have been killed. They would not have been killed. Where is this not coming? They would not have been. They would not. Where is it coming? There is no la here. Ma we know is whatever only, as an ism mawsool, right? We know ma as ism mawsool. There is nothing translated as whatever here, right? So if nothing translated as whatever, it is ma that is for refutation. It's called ma nafiya. Ma for refutation. Okay, take help from translation when you do your analysis. Don't try to do only Arabic. If you just start with the Arabic ayahs and look at the translation and try to understand how the condition, where the condition is ending, where the condition is starting, and map that translation to the Arabic as much as you can. Okay, we're not there yet where you could just pick up the Arabic and start doing the conditions completely independently. Take help from the translation and we'll get better, inshallah. Okay, so that's another condition. And then there's a final one, which is conditions with is. Conditions with iza. Conditions with iza. Condition with iza. Now these conditions with iza, are possible conditions, and likely to happen. Okay, iza translates to when. Iza translates to when. Let me write it down here. Iza translates to when. When. And it is usually used with a past tense. And it is usually used with a past tense. Okay? Is usually used with the past tense, but sometimes there are exceptions in the jawab, in the answer to the condition, where the fa is attached. It's the same case as we had with I think in. Yes, we had it in the same case where it is, when it is used with the past tense, sometimes the answer is coming in the present tense because there's a fa attached. So in the same way, iza is also used with the past tense, but sometimes there's a fa attached that gives an answer in the present tense. Okay, it's usually, wait a second, please. Okay, usually used with the past tense. Okay, exception in the answer to the condition. The answer to the condition is when a fa is used. Okay. Okay. So these conditions are usually likely conditions. These are likely conditions that may happen. Okay, they're likely to happen. Let me construct these examples with you. So possible and likely to happen conditions with iza, it means when, usually used with past tense, and the exceptions in jawabul shart exist when the answer starts with a fa. Okay, just like the in case. Wa iza qila lahum la tufsidu fil ardi. La tufsidu fil ardi. And when they were told not to create fuss, trouble in the earth, Okay, so this is when you see iza and you know it's a condition. It's a condition beginning, and you know qila is a past tense. Qila is a past tense fail. It's a past tense fail. It's used with the past. Okay. Qila is like opposite. Iza is like opposite to lamma. If you remember, sorry, lam, not lamma. Lam means did not, and if it is used with the present tense, lam yansuru, he did not help. So he pushes the meaning of a present tense into a past tense, whereby iza pushes the meaning of a past tense into a present tense. Iza qila, when they are told. Okay, when they are told. Okay, when we tell them. Okay, so you look at when it is said to them. Okay? When it is said to them, it kind of pushes meaning into the future, in the present tense for a past tense. And so the condition says, إِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ. And when it is said to them, do not cause corruption on the earth. Do not cause corruption on the earth. Then you get qalu. Qalu is a past tense again, right? It's qalu is a past tense again. Okay, qalu innama nahnu muslihun. They said, certainly, whatever we do, it's pious, it's righteous, it's good. So they say, oh, we are but reformers. We just reform things. We are just reformers. Right? So you see, the Jawabul Shart is starting with another past tense here. Jawabul Shart is starting with another past tense. This is the condition. This is the answer to the condition. Okay? Sorry if you can read my Chinese script. Just doing it quickly a bit here, rushing here a bit. Okay. وَإِذَا we found another إِذَا. وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي أَنِّي وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي أَنِّي. Now we know إِذَا is used with a past tense. So sa'ala is a past tense fi'l. He asked, to question, to ask. Okay. Okay. And ibadi is an outside doer. Sa'ala is a huwa form, so it becomes an outside doer. So when the servant asks you against me, okay, when the servant asks you against me, now Allah is talking here. When servant asks you against me, and when my servants ask you, O Muhammad, concerning me, okay, concerning me, about me, sorry, not against me, about me, concerning me. This is where the condition ends. This is the condition. Okay. فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ. فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ. Now you see there is a fa coming, which kind of indicates answer to the condition to iza, and this is all jumla ismiya. This is all jumla ismiya. فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ. And then certainly I am close, near. Certainly I am close, near. Indeed, I am near. Okay. So this is the answer to the condition. Answer to the condition. Okay. Good. Alhamdulillah. We have covered quite a bit today. Alhamdulillah, and we have done 5 ways how conditions are formed in the Quran. So those 5 ways are: first way is by using in, if then statements. It's by using the in statement and in harf. The second one is by using ma and man. The third one is by commanding and forbidding and a consequence. The fourth one is conditions with law, which are impossible conditions. And the fifth one is conditions with iza, when, which are likely conditions. Okay. Inshallah, I will send you all of these notes, the ones that we have prepared, I've shown you, and the ones I have also typed down here. So inshallah, I hope this will help you out. Do not worry if you're not able to get everything now here. So I had to rush a little bit, sorry, because we missed a few classes and I had to prolong this class a bit. So it's almost 20 minutes up. Sorry about that, but I hope you can watch the recording and you can do it in your own time, in 2 goes or 3 goes. You take your breaks and just get this lecture covered. You have the entire week, inshallah. In the next week, we will pick up something else and something new and try to advance as fast as we can. So until then, I wish you a very nice week, inshallah, and I hope a less cold week as well. So see you, inshallah, next week. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.